Still waiting for my MVP camera. Still haven't received it. So today's stream, I was going to talk about 7 things that I'm doing in 2020. Some of the things I've been doing in quarantine and whatnot, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing, things I'm checking out, all that sort of stuff. If you guys got questions, feel free to drop it in the comments below. So what I was thinking about doing today was really, while I'm doing some walking cardio. I already have like 10,000 steps today so far. While I'm doing some walking cardio, I just thought I could just share some of the projects I'm working on, share exactly what I'm doing with my time. Because what I realized is that I don't really share too much about what I do behind the scenes of everything I do, because there's a few projects I do, and I think it's important to kind of have kind of that transparency as well. So that's kind of been what's on my mind. I will also later on the stream kind of cover some of the Reddit pharmacy stuff. There were a lot of great things today that I saw on the Reddit pharmacy thread, where they were giving free Crocs. One of the board of pharmacies was trying to sell. It was really funny. They were trying to sell like PPE for $500, and I was like, "Damn, that freaking sucks." Imagine having to do your job and you have to pay for PPE. By the way, if you guys are watching this video, would appreciate if you would smash that like button. Yesterday, I actually did a quick training about how to create remote income, service-based businesses, and all that kind of behind the scenes of what I'm working on. If you guys have questions about that, please let me know as well. We got Stephanie H. What is up? Nice to have you in the stream. Would appreciate you, Stephanie, if you would smash that like button. But let's get on to it, guys. Okay, so maybe I should put this in a cool PowerPoint or something. Let me. I'll just do it one by, or maybe I'll open up a whimsical app, right? Cool. So this is what I'll do. I'll just do it OG Google Docs style. Google Docs, and we have it here. Cool. So the first thing that I'm actually doing these days is, hold on, just opening up the app. Let's call it. All right, cool. Right. So let's go on to this, right? Really, one of the things I've been doing recently is more one-on-one with my subscribers and viewers. If you guys don't know, I actually sometimes take on my email list. Yeah, I don't really publicize this on my YouTube channel, but usually on my email list every single day, I try to kind of do more one-on-ones with my email list. People who reach out to me. Sometimes people are going through some rough times. I remember when I was in pharmacy, I was going through some rough times, very frustrated with my career and whatnot, and wanted a way out. And so I've been meeting with people who've been reaching out to me through the email list, asking them, hey, what do you need help with? And it's been very interesting. A lot of people have kind of, we've been hopping on Zoom calls, and a lot of people have like, it's the same common themes over and over again. What do I do to feel more fulfilled in my career? Both in pharmacy and out of pharmacy. It's really interesting the type of people I talk to a lot. So there's that. There's also, yeah, that's pretty much it. Or maybe like they're in sales and they're trying to look for their first client and they need help with that. So I've been really helping with those two major topics at the moment as well. So that's kind of like one of the first thing that I'm doing. This sucks, but we will survive. Yes, we will, Isaac. You know, people have been looking. One of my friends, he sent me kind of the numbers compared to the US and China and all that sort of stuff. Something to keep in mind too, when you're looking at numbers. No, we have one. We're probably testing a lot more than other people. Also, you know, if you're comparing to countries like China and whatnot, you can't. Let's be honest, man. Are those numbers really accurate? First, second of all, right? And we do have a pretty large population compared to a lot of the smaller companies as well. So I think that's something to consider. Just do your best to protect yourself, man. Stay at home. All that sort of stuff. I mean, like, we all see the CDC recommendations and stuff like that. So just follow it. Just be very mindful, I guess. But there's all that. Hendrik says, appreciate your streams. Don't have time to watch everything, but always great to hear from you. Really appreciate it, Hendrik. Yeah, I sometimes wonder, is like, dude, is it even worth to do these daily streams? Because the engagement hasn't been all that great, but it's all good, man. At the end of the day, my intention was to do it till the 31st, so 5 more days, and then switch it back to weekly. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it over and over again as well. Stephanie says, did you check out M1 Finance? Did not check out M1 Finance quite yet. I think I gave my opinion a few days ago about M1 Finance and auto, like robo advisors and stuff like that. They're great for certain people, man. If you want to shovel your money, that's great, but doesn't mean I like more control over it. But I definitely will take the time to check it out as well. I'll most likely post it on kickassinvesting.com/YouTube on my YouTube channel over there. So yeah, there's that. And then we have Hendrik's comment over here as well. So perfect. Second thing that I'm kind of doing, let's go into point number 2. Second thing I'm actually doing as well. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but doubling down on my remote businesses. I've been building out websites, investing back into digital assets. And this one's important to me because I've actually been investing more into domain names recently. I've been building out websites. I've been investing into software to help me build websites a lot quicker. You gotta realize, man, I'm not the most techiest person in the world. But you know, I think going forward, being able to build a website really quickly, being able to kind of make something look nice really quick is one of the important skills that I'm trying to work on, especially as I'm getting my own offers up. If I want to kind of jump in that market of building out websites for people too, that's a service I could offer. Most likely, I probably won't offer that skill and whatnot as well, but you know, that's kind of what I've been working on as well. Did I just get a super chat, bro? Dude, that's awesome. Let's see. Like, is there any way I can check out who gave the super chat? Frick. My software. Maybe if I go into YouTube and take a look at it into my actual channel. But appreciate the super chat, man. Hendrik says, and if you guys have questions, just feel free to drop them in too, and we'll just go from there as well. Let me open up my YouTube just so I can shout out that super chat. Really appreciate it. And looks like I got another like. That's so cool, man. Oh, actually, I liked it myself. Why is eye contact so intense weird during intimacy? Says Benevolent 24. You know what? There's something about eye contact. And by the way, Hendrik, I didn't forget your question. I just want to shout out the super chat person really quick. Basically, Benevolent, the reason why eye contact is so intense, I wouldn't say weird during intimacy. It's only what you think. Eye contact is how you connect with people, right? Think about it. Let's say if we were at a coffee shop right now and I was on my phone, just like looking, having our conversation together, there's lack of connection, right? And so when you're building any sort of relationship, even just cordial friendships, anything like that, looking at someone in the eye expresses so many emotions, right? Like you can tell so much about your eyes. They other than telling that knowing that I'm Asian, obviously, but no, like you can see when you see, for example, if you can tell someone is happy by the creases on the corner of their eyes as well. If they squinch up like that, like there's a difference between a smile like this and a like this, right? I had to fake it a little bit, but there's a very big difference, and you tell through the eyes, right? So that is something important. But Hendrik said, what is your main goal in the streams? I'm sure it's great for practice speaking / explaining to crowds. Basically, my purpose for doing these streams initially, when I sent out my email, it was to really support our healthcare professionals, to really highlight a lot of the things that, you know, I just felt like, you know, pharmacists weren't being I just felt like, you know, pharmacists, healthcare professionals, they're just under a lot of burden, right? And so by having these kind of streams where I just share stories, teach different things, kind of put my thoughts out there, and having a common place where people can really, I guess, hang out after, right? That was the intention behind everything as well. So behind everything. Oh shoot! Now my super chats are showing up in my chat. That's freaking awesome, man. Really, like we had benevolent. If you could talk about your pet dog, what would you say, benevolent? Let's see. What could I say to my? Well, I actually have my brother's dog, and it's so funny, man. Dogs are very interesting creatures because we talk to them like they're children, man. It's so funny. I love dogs because like I never grew up with dogs, right? My family, traditional Chinese family. If you guys know, like a lot of Chinese, well nowadays a lot of Chinese families like dogs and stuff. But the OG days, they hated animals in the house. You'll meet those traditional Chinese people, right? That was kind of like my household where we didn't really have pets at all, and so my and so when I started, like when I moved to California, the first dogs I ever lived with was actually in the JK house, like with Joe and Tommy's dog and Can's dog and Brand Beachoy's dog and all that. So that was the first time I ever lived with dogs. And it was really great coming home to some it's really great coming back to like something or a family member that really always waits by your side, that's so excited to see you all the time, that wants to play with you and shit, right? And so when my brother got a dog, I started playing with him, and it's really made my mom super super happy as well, being able to come home to something, have something to do, and it's almost like a little child. It's really interesting. What stocks do you think are booming right now? Well, the market is like booming at the moment. In particular stocks, like honestly, I haven't been really taking the time to look at individual stocks. One of my friends told me, let's see, NYMT just went up over. This is, I think this is a REIT or something like that. But like for example, the market is booming right now. Look at this, up 34% within the last within this day. If you look at the S&P 500, it's up. Let's see. Oh no, I just want to look at the day. It's up 6% right today. So we're gonna have these major fluctuations depending on the good news, bad news of the market. It's something to be just aware of as well. So yeah, as far as individual stocks, there are no individual stocks that I'm looking at the moment. I'll probably talk to one of my friends, Jason. He's one of the people that I talk to all the time for stock tips and all that sort of stuff. Just because he monitors the market a lot more than I do. I actually, these days, I don't really monitor the market as much as I used to. But hey, it's like there's only so much energy that you have in a day, and for me, I'm just closing deals. I think we're out of questions right now, so let me go back to the 7 things I'm working on right now. Let me close Stephanie. But one of the other things I've been doing is strategic thinking time, right? So I've been reading more, investing more into thinking time and all that as well. I think that's really important as well. Like I never really, so back when I was before the quarantine, I was always out and about. I would go to jujitsu early in the morning. It would be bam, 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 bam. Never really got to think that much or read as much as I do right now. Right now, I read a lot. It's crazy. I'll polish off a book a day at this point, and having that extra time to really think has allowed me to be less reactive and think more of, hey, what do I want? Like for these different projects, because I run 3 different projects right now, right? So obviously I have my YouTube channel, which I've been streaming every single day. I have the Hustle Academy.life that I'm trying to help people create remote income, right? The third thing, Kick-Ass Investing. Those are my main projects, and I'm documenting my sales process. I don't know if I'm going to sell it, what I'm going to do with that, but I'm just having it all in one place. So I'm ready to do something with it when it's all done, right? And then obviously I do closing. That's my main source of income. And so those are the type of projects. And I get to think like, hey, is what I'm doing actually necessary? How can I better do things? How can I improve my process? What tools can I do my job better with? And what sort of people can I meet? I've actually been meeting a lot more people. I prioritize in my day. So one of the tools I've been playing with is something called Notion. I put it in the description earlier today, but let's see. I'll show you a little bit about how I organize my day. I kind of showed you before, but if you guys don't know, I do something like a habit tracker. One of the things I love about Notion, and I have different categories. So I have my morning routine with the links. So one of the things I love doing is that if you click the link, it'll open up another tab, and it's very mobile friendly. Obviously, I can't do jujitsu practice or powerlift. Really sad, but I have a health section as well. I have a relationship section where every single day I'll reach out to a friend or colleague. Can't meet up for coffee anymore, but I will reach out to one of my regular friends that I talk to. I'll connect with someone who I haven't spoken to a while ago. I'll introduce myself to someone in Asian Hustle Network, and having this time has really helped me kind of think through things out, like what I really need to do. So if you can't tell on my YouTube face, I'm done with the planning. I need to shoot and write an article, which I'm working on right now. And like I told you, Hustle Academy and Kick-Ass Investing. By the way, speaking about Kick-Ass Investing, I actually I finished the migration videos to Kartra. It should be up in about anytime soon. Just got to write some descriptions, integrate everything. And Kick-Ass Investing 2.0 is going to be launched, the masterclass. I really want this masterclass, like especially with the market the way it is right now. I want more people than ever to start investing. And I've been paying almost like $100 per month so far just to kind of get it out. And the price is only going to increase on my end. But I do feel strongly about being able to throw assets out there, because I feel like in my life, like what I'm doing right now in terms of remote assets, I have a lot more discretionary income than I did like a year ago. So business is booming for me right now. So I want to do some give backs, man, as much as possible. All right. So we got people in the house, super chat from Benevolent. I'm nervous about tooting in front of my girlfriend. Advice: don't be, man. It's natural. Like, dude, that's not a problem. I know sometimes people get self-conscious about like being human, farting, and all that sort of. It's natural, man. It shouldn't be awkward if you don't feel like it's awkward. Tiffany Vo. Hey, what up, Tiffany? Hey, Hey, Kevin. Finishing up my last pharmacy rotation at MCPHS. Not too excited to graduate into a recession. What are some valuable skills that I can learn to phase out pharmacy eventually in order to achieve financial freedom? Well, I did talk about this the other day, Tiffany. As far as valuable skills, I'm not quite sure like what the end goal for you is. Everybody's different, right? Because one of the things that I want to do, as much like yourself, Tiffany, where I'll leave your question up actually, just so that people can reference this later. But not everybody wants to start an online business. Personally, I think online business is the best. Doing some sort of remote business, remote service-based business is the best thing you can do. And so valuable skills in terms of starting let's say if you want to do something, like the most important skill I probably picked up within the last 2 years is really learning how to do sales, right? Even if you just do a part-time sales job, if you watch my videos from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you can tell a difference in my speech patterns, and I'm able to articulate and communicate a lot better than I did a few years ago, right? So whether you're going on a job interview, you can articulate your value a lot better, a lot more clearly, and in a more concise way, right? So that is the number one skill I've really picked up on. I've been able to be a lot more tactful in my speech too. So for example, right, rather than be like, I can tell if somebody's nervous, and I can tell, like, I can kind of have more tactful ways about conflict resolution as well. Because you know how some people, like, the way you ask questions, have you ever noticed, like, when you ask certain questions, right? Like, when you ask a why type of question, sometimes it's very, very confrontational, right? Let's say, oh yeah, uh, I want to start a, I want, let's see, I gotta think of a good example. So, um, oh, I can't think of a good example, but you know, like, have you ever been asked, like, why would you, why would you do that, right? Why would you want, like, why, what made you do that versus why are you doing that? Very different connotations and the way that it's received by the person that you're talking to. So I think with sales and whatnot, you're able to kind of be a little more tactful about your speech. So I think that's important. But in terms of like outside of that, I would say if you want to eventually phase out pharmacy, the best thing that you can do for yourself is really start a service-based business. If you want to check out my stream from yesterday, I kind of break that down, but I am working on something, a guide to help people start up their first side hustle, and to basically create and open up a door where they can eventually leave pharmacy if they want, or run both, right? Like I said, not everybody wants to scale their business to like to some people really like pharmacy. They like doing both. And that's a huge assumption I made back in the day where it's like, dude, pharmacy sucks. Why would anybody want to do it? Right. So those are just kind of my thoughts, Tiffany. But if you have more questions about it, feel free to slide through my email, subscribers@refugeehustle.com. Hendrix says, is it really okay to invest right now? Markets could still fall. The world market or US could go into a longer recession. What are good things to do right now? So, sure, you could try short the market and whatnot and try go with the ups and downs, right? Or a better strategy to invest right now, Hendrix, is I would say just go safe. You know, we're gonna go through a huge. It's gonna be super volatile, right? The best thing you can do right now is dollar cost average into something basic like the S&P 500. If you have any extra money, you can allocate extra money for individual stocks and play with that money. But I would say S&P 500, increase the amount that if you have a stable 9 to 5 job, by the way, it's a perfect time to invest and really increase the amount of money that you invest every single month. So for example, let's say, you know, I'm working at CVS. I'm willing to do 500. I normally do $500 per month. Well, you know, during this recession, I'm probably not going to lose my job. So I'm going to try to double down and do $1,000 per month into a taxable account, 401k, anything like that. And when the market goes up, you will profit. This is what I did in 2009 when the stock market crashed. So yeah. Let's see. Tiffany says, thanks so much. Love your content. So keep up the good work with your videos. Yeah, appreciate it. And by the way, if there's any content that you guys want to see more of, I always keep note. I always have, actually, you know, it's really funny. I have a whole spreadsheet of different content that you guys have questions about. I think out of all the pages, like I'm going to be creating, so I do have a lot of projects, but you know, a lot of these projects, man, like I'll show you my Notion really quick. A lot of these projects that I have over here, I feel super passionate about them because I believe that they'll change people's lives. You know how I know? Because they've really changed my life. And I want to share more tools. I want to create more tools. I want to create financial dashboards for y'all where it's like, okay, these are the basic necessities that you need to manage your finances. Here they are, right? And I want to provide as much free content as I can, and do some paid content too, but mostly give tons of value to people because, you know, these are tools that I wish I had, that I had to build. There's a reason why I'm building this stuff out right now because it doesn't exist on the market. And I feel like I definitely come from a unique background where it's like, you know, pharmacy right now is not doing too hot. I realize I realize that A lot of people are unhappy, and one of the solutions I see is the more that I can help people find more fulfilling work, it'll free up more jobs in the job market for the people that really want to do it. And maybe pharmacy, maybe I'm not gonna say it's gonna solve saturation within pharmacy. No freaking way. But if I can just help that one person, maybe this you that's watching who's a pharmacy grad, and maybe you're in six-figure debt, if I can help you get a job, then I've done my job. That's something that I feel so strongly about, and giving people the option to do what they want, right? Because I feel like the way that pharmacy is right now is that we feel trapped. We can't feel like we can't walk away. We can't stand up for ourselves because we're like, shit, what am I going to do with all this debt, right? But if you came from more abundance, and let's say you had another stream of revenue, yeah, it might be a little hard to survive. It might be a little harder, but at least you still got cash flow. All you got to do is scale that other business up, and guess what you can say? Fuck you, CVS. We want PPE during the coronavirus. We're not going to do our jobs unless we have these measures in place. So I think those are... What the fuck? My audio just fucking cut out. But those are important things, and that's something I feel super passionate about it. Let's see. Cora Bell. Hey, what's up? Hey, Kevin. Benevolent 24 super chat $10. I stupidly left a window open while I was using Oculus Go to watch adult movies, and I loudly groaned. This is crazy. I loudly groaned during climax, and now my neighbors gave me the side eye while cutting my lawn. Any advice? Dude, I don't even know what... No, it's really embarrassing. I don't even know what an Oculus Go is. I think, isn't it the freaking VR thing? Oculus Go. Let me see. Let's Google this stuff right now. Oh, yes. Wait, Oculus VR headset starting at 1.4. You know what's really interesting, by the way? Speaking about adult films, by the way, I know this isn't answering your question, Benevolent, but what's really interesting, I want to type in the Pornhub statistics, but I read that the statistics for view time for the PH has significantly gone up since this whole Corona thing as well. So it's gonna be really interesting. I think surprisingly, out of all the companies that I think are really crafty, that have a unique marketing angle, it's actually the PH, man. PH is like the most craftiest company. They create really funny content. They make jokes within themselves and all that. It's just really, really interesting stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much. But as far as your neighbor, man, maybe you guys can shoot some erotic films together. No, just kidding. Dude, it's natural. Fuck, dude. Dude, I don't understand where all the shame comes from like porn and all that sort of stuff. Everybody does it. Everybody has sex. Everybody, it's not the end of the world, right? So where was I? So that's pretty much all the comments so far. By the way, I love to throw a question back to you. How are you guys doing there during the coronavirus outbreak and whatnot? What are some things that you guys are struggling with, or some things that are on your mind? Feel free to drop it in the chat as well. This is meant to be a two-way conversation. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Let's go to number 4. All right. Saying no to non-crucial projects, right? And so this is the 4th thing I've been doing. I've been taking a look at my life, and we're just minimalizing as many things as possible, right? I've been getting rid of extra items that I don't freaking need in my apartment. I've been pitched a lot of different opportunities recently, and I've just been cutting them out because there's only so much you can focus, especially in times of when there's a lot of weird energy going on and all this craziness. You can't focus on too much. You gotta focus on the essential things that you actually care about, so those are the things that are really important, right? So how much do you get that treadmill for? Well, I'll drop it in the I'll drop the model in the chat, actually. I actually got this treadmill. What I like about this treadmill is that it's actually what's that called? It's try to log in. It's actually foldable, so I can actually hide it under my desk. How many steps am I at? Since I started the stream, I'm at 4,000. I'm not doing it. I'm not going crazy. I'm at 4,000 steps since the start of the stream. I think about 40 minutes. Yeah, about 40 minutes. Treadmill. Wow. Where's that treadmill? I think it's called a. Let me see. Found it. Oh, it went up a little bit. Makes sense right now. But one of the ones that I just bought was called a Walking Pad A1. I'll send you a link right now. Here we go. This one's about $500. And it's one of the best investments ever because you burn idle calories. And plus, they're great for sales calls if you need to stand up or you're doing work. I literally have a standing desk. I wrote an article I'm writing an article about my home setup since I moved into this new apartment. Because I typically work at home a lot now. Well, of course, now I can't go to coffee shops. But I work a lot now. I have a standing desk. This laptop. I'm shooting from my laptop camera as well. So that's kind of like what I've been up to. So, yeah. I'm in university here in Germany, but they delayed everything. And it's really difficult for me to plan the future currently. Might gonna search for work if they keep the university closed. Henrik, I would really consider, like, dude, so some of the people I've been following recently was Noah Kagan. He's kind of like he's a guy, he's like the fourth employee, I believe, of Facebook. He's also the owner of OK Dork, AppSumo, Ramit Sethi's friend. Really interesting guy, but he was talking about different service-based businesses, and one guy is like a virtual DJ, right? That's so cool. A virtual DJ. Another person was like doing a speakeasy type of thing with close parties and stuff like that with friends. There's a lot of different opportunities right now as well, so those are some things to consider. But try to start a service-based business. Let's see. Benevolent 24. Unknown Pacifica says, let them join you. Does hot Chinese girl in the image come with the mill? Come with them. I wish, right? This online quarantine college are a nightmare for my classes who have old professors. Yeah, because a lot of them aren't very tech savvy, to be honest with you, right? And so it's just really, it's tough. I saw on Vice recently the story of this girl. She's like pretty much home, like almost like she got kicked out of her dorms and stuff. She's kind of homeless. Her mom only has a single room, and so she's like tough. She's like shit out of luck, to be honest with you, right? And so I was watching this story and I was like, dude, how does this girl stay so positive, right? But this is like, it's opportunities like these where it's kind of like a lot of shit is going on, but if you can keep your head on straight and stay positive during these times, you're absolutely going to be successful no matter what, right? Dang, Benevolent 24 with another super chat. Love it, man. Thanks. By the way, Benevolent, thank you so much for the super chats. You really don't have to. What is your personal record? Love these trolley comments, but yo, I'm gonna sell out. What's today? Sell out Thursday. Yeah. What is your personal record for shortest recovery time between dumping loads? Dude. Probably like 3 minutes, man. I think maybe 2 minutes. AZ says, thoughts on joining the military during this quarantine time? It's really interesting because I was watching Johnny, like AZ, I took your advice. I was listening to Johnny Kim. I only listened to the first 2 hours. I'm going to listen to the next 2 hours when I go to sleep later tonight, or when I go back to gym or something like that. And so I thought about it, man. If I lost everything, why not, But it really, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, like, what is the purpose for going back into the military and why do you want to do it? It really comes, Johnny was talking about it on his podcast where it's like he had one singular focus about why he joined the military, and it was to protect his family, his mom, brother, all that as well. And if you guys don't know who Johnny is, JK News covered him. He's basically a decorated Navy SEAL, astronaut, and a physician all in one. It's crazy. He's only 39, I think, like maybe late 30s, and he did that all three of those things. Very interesting story. Highly would recommend you guys to check out Jocko Willink and Johnny Kim. Let me try to find that podcast, and I'll drop in a link. Jocko, just open up in a new screen. Here we go. Let's do this. All right, here we go. Due to this COVID-19, how could a pharmacist benefit from it? Well, Edgar, from what I see, I think there's going to be a huge trend toward more opportunities for pharmacists as well, right? We're seeing a burden on healthcare providers, right? Whenever there's a burden or some sort of challenge or something like that, then that leaves opportunity or more problems to be solved, right? And so I think that's really, it's really interesting to see. Like, maybe that's going to expand our care. For the last few days, I've actually on my stream, I've been sharing this Reddit article too. Let me switch to it. Dude. All right. Passed in Florida, allowing pharmacists to treat physician patients for chronic diseases and all that. So I think we're gonna start seeing if this really strains the system. Pharmacists are very underutilized. There's a lot of them. Why not create an opportunity in the law for healthcare providers to be for pharmacists to be like mid-level practitioners or something to fill a gap in, because there's a need right now, and it might be a good thing for us. I mean, there's that, but in the short term, I mean, that's going to take a little while, right? In the short term, I think actually pharmacists, well, I think pharmacists are actually losing right now, just because there's not enough PPE. They're going through all the shit, and it's pretty clear from the Reddit Pharmacy. If you look at Reddit Pharmacy, it's like people are saying it's clearly more and more like you're seeing a lot of these type of posts over here, right? Where like there's no precaution at work, no mask, no sneeze guards, no limits to how many people in the store. It's really quite sad to see all these inefficiencies in our system, and that's why I feel so strongly about it. I talk about it every single day because something needs to be done. But I guess I mean, I'll give CVS this. It's not a lot, but at least CVS is giving some sort of compensation. But honestly, we should be giving a lot more to the people on the front lines, because these corporations, they're profiting. They're making a freaking killing right now in revenue. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Their pharmacies are probably slammed. I don't know if anybody wants to challenge that, or if anybody can give me the 411. What is that? What you say? The 411 on the pharmacy. If anybody can give me like what's happened on the pharmacy grounds and stuff at the pharmacy. Are you guys busier than normal? Right? I'm pretty sure you guys are doing a lot better. Script count is probably up like crazy. Benevolent 24, I think you opened up the wrong chat. This ain't Chatterbait. Hey, whatever, man. Sell out Thursday, bro. I'll answer any questions. Dude, that guy makes me not regret joining the military and doing college later. I was way too immature for college. You know what's really interesting? I've actually like been thinking about this a lot, where I was actually way too immature for a lot of different things. Like, I was very immature, like in terms of starting a business. Wanted to start a business at 25. I was probably a little bit, even though I had the brains for it, I was probably too immature to actually be something like a healthcare professional, to think about it as well, right? Coming out of pharmacy school, yes, I could be professional and all that, but I didn't want to be. That wasn't who my identity was. I think I kind of grew up later than a lot of other people as well, right? Like, I felt so repressed as a child, man, and I never got to have fun. Just worked my ass all the time. I sometimes still feel the same way. Especially like I get these feelings, especially during quarantine time as well, right? But that's kind of like a little bit how I feel on that end. Um, but yeah, like uh, it's okay sometimes. Like, and I feel like I probably wasn't ready at the time to go to something like QLA as well, right? There's a time and place for everything. Everything comes in your life for a reason. It probably planted a seed for future endeavors and all that. But at the time, I thought I was a really great leader. I thought I had really great soft skills. Come to think about it, I fucking sucked, dude. I was so if this is really loud, but I freaking sucked at a lot of things. And it's only through kind of growing up over these last 2 or 3 years, after my father passed and after I left pharmacy, where I realized, man, there's a lot growing up that I had to do. So it's totally cool. If you feel immature and all that as well. Cora Bell says, "Whoa, um, oh my God, Benevolent 24, $10 super chat. My partner's reproductive discharge has been tasting super foully lately. Can I tell my dad to change? Oh my God, this is so freaking dude. Benevolent, you're fucking making my day, bro. This is so funny." Jimmy Stock says thoughts on being Kevin Yee. Not quite sure what you mean about that, but I guess like as far as identity and whatnot, like, because I always have these thoughts, right? Because one of the thoughts that I've been thinking more and more about is like, you aren't what you do. You aren't your business. You aren't these things that you aren't your profession, because you are a, let's say if you're an engineer or a pharmacist or whatever, that doesn't make your identity, right? Really, at the end of the day, it's how you show up for people, how you carry yourself every single day and whatnot as well. The values that you want to carry, right? What are you willing to die for? Things like that. Those are the things that I've been really thinking about a lot more, as well. But anyways, where am I? I think I'm at like point number 5. Let me copy paste this over. So another thing I've been really can't believe I'm actually getting through this, right? So many great comments right now. One of the other things I've been really doing is helping others build a remote source of income as well. So if you guys don't know, I've been actually building something called hustleacademy.life. I'm building out the website as we speak, actually, but I've been really designing stages of a program really to help people start service-based businesses. I've been talking to, like I said earlier, I've been talking to a lot of individual people, trying to see what they need help with in terms of starting a business. And they all do. It's really crazy. I see the same trends, and I can't help but look like at myself. That was me. That was me when I was first in undergrad, graduating from my undergrad school, my last year. I want to have my own business, and it felt so far away, but so crazy. Like, it's really not that hard to start a service-based business, right? You're only at just a few steps. And I started documenting my journey. I started talking to a lot of my friends who kind of came on this journey with me, and really, really developing a lot of these assets that I could really use to invest in others. So I've been doing that as well. So yeah. Let's see. Number 6. Another thing I've been really focusing on this year too. Connecting with more of my friends, especially with Facebook and Zoom. Both like people who I talk to all the time, but also people who I don't. I think this is actually a great time to kind of foster those relationships. Just call someone, hit someone up on video chat for Facebook or something like that. This is the great thing about technology, is that you can talk to someone across the world. It doesn't matter where you are. Back in the day, you know what we had to do back in the day, and I sound fucking old right now, but back in the day, when I had a long distance relationship, the only way that we could talk, yes, we could talk Skype, but we had to use phone cards, bro. Phone cards. That is freaking crazy. We had to use phone cards back in the day. And we don't have those same barriers anymore. Unless you're in China, where they don't have things like Facebook, but maybe you have Zoom, or maybe if you have a VPN, you can like bypass all that sort of stuff. but that's something important. I've been really going through my Facebook list and just seeing, hey, who haven't I talked to? Who kind of added value back in my life back in the day? And how can I thank them, or how can I help them? Or sometimes, like, that's how I've been thinking. And I've also been going through like things like Asian Hustle Network, seeing who posted. I'll usually go to a post where, you know, somebody needed help with something, or somebody posted some really interesting content, reach out to them, give them props. That's how connections are made, guys. And I think shooting video is underrated these days. You can easily shoot a Loom video to someone. You can shoot a Facebook video to someone. You can shoot a Zoom video. You can jump on a Zoom. I mean, literally, I played Mafia with my friends. I mean, Corbell can played Mafia with me, right? But there's so many opportunities with these technologies that a lot of us don't use it that much, right? So yeah. Let's see. What would be an example for a service-based business that targets low-income people and creates a win-win situation for buyer and seller? I would tell you this, right? So there's two questions that you got to ask. Ramit Sethi talks about this. Can they buy and will they buy? Chances are a low-income population, they probably can't afford your services, right? If you're doing a service-based business, right? But I mean, when I say service-based business, sure, you can do a B2B solution. You can provide marketing. You can provide sales. You can provide all that sort of stuff. But even think about real basic service-based businesses happening right now. What do you feel like is really taking off? Oh, delivery services. Also, perhaps maybe you could create like a meal prep service for people as well who are afraid to go out but want to stay on their macros. Maybe a personal trainer, right? And these are everyday type of things where it's just like, oh shoot, my gym is closed. I need to make sure that I don't get fat during this thing. My health is important to me. How do I stay solid? Maybe it's a remote yoga. You teach remote yoga classes through Zoom. Those are all service-based businesses, right? And you don't have to think super, super big. Sometimes it's like, a lot of time, it's just the everyday stuff that we just need, right? People really going back to what we call the Life Force 8, or this 8 needs of people. I brought it up yesterday in our stream, but if I pop this up really quick, if I go here, let's see if I show, not my Google Chrome, but I gotta show the preview. Cool. You guys can see this. Basically, this is a life wheel. Billie Jean stole it from someone else. But basically, body, self, spiritual, nature, physical, financial, network, relationships. These are the personal side. And this is like kind of the other side as well. Like, we're talking about tech, marketing, sales, customer support, HR, legal, finance, ops, right? People actually pay for all these different things. So there is, let me go back. So those are some examples of businesses as well. What I'm actually trying to do is actually, I wrote down a whole bunch of them, but I'm actually trying to, like, for example, like, I'll read you a few of them because I'm actually putting this in my guide. Something you could do is offer tech support, bookkeeping, lead gen. You could become what's that called? A fashion consultant. I was looking at this guy, Peter, I think his name is Peter Nguyen. Is it? Yeah. Peter Nguyen. He's the owner of thecentralman.com. So if you take a look at his website, he helps people do this, right? Like, very specific niche, and it's really taking expertise and turning it into a service where you can get paid for doing X, right? It's creating an offer behind everything, right? For me, one of the services that I used to provide is I provide sales, high ticket sales for digital marketers with digital marketing packages and whatnot. I do the same thing, high ticket sales for people with online mentorships, online programs. That's one of the major services I provide. That's very lucrative for me. That's how I afford this lifestyle. You know, it really doesn't have to be that complicated, right? So That's food for thought, by the way. Um, super chat, man, dude, the money's flowing in today. I swear, like benevolent. Thank you, benevolent 24. Thanks for funding my rent this month. Really appreciate it. What's the best way for backdoor hair removal? I would say wax it, bro. Go all in. But on a real note, I've been using. There's a lot of different razors. There's the what's it called? The Manscaper or Lawnscape? I don't know. I'm trying to actually reach out to them for an affiliate right now. So there's all that. Good friend who I haven't seen in 2 years wants to meet up for a beer. Do you go? Well, first of all, I don't drink, so probably not. But in terms of meeting up with a friend, right now it's probably a more responsible thing to kind of do something like it's probably more responsible to do something like a Zoom meeting or something like that. That's probably a lot better. But I mean, yeah, I say connect with them. There's a lot more free time, especially if you're not commuting and all that as well, right? Mike Deng says, after some consideration, I decided to quit pharmacy and do something else. Honestly, been a weight removed. Dude, that's great, Mike Deng. Dude, I would love to talk to you more about like that process. How was it? And what did you decide to do after? Or are you in the midst of it? Are you trying to figure out what you want to do? And what were some of those reasons why you want to quit pharmacy? I'd love to kind of hear that. Do you think AZ says, do you think Dan Pena has a soft heart, or is he just hard all the time? I will tell you guys this. On YouTube, he definitely plays a more of a persona. He is kind of an asshole in real life too, but he's not as animated. He's a normal dude at the end of the day. Imagine I saw Dan Pena, like he wasn't even like in a suit or anything like that. But it's a persona he plays on YouTube. But he is pretty hardcore. He does know his shit. And he is pretty damn scary in real life, too. So, interesting stuff. Kevin, last question, I promise. I know we've been asking so many. Who would win in a stock exchange one-on-one? LeBron James or Warren Buffett? Well, I'll tell you this, man. If we're taking a look at long-term, Warren Buffett would lose because... dude, he is freaking old at this point. LeBron could probably hire some really great talent too, but I don't know. During Benevolent 24 says, during shared intimacy, where do you like to finish? Always in the mouth, bro. So that's my personal favorite. Whatever, I'm human. So funny. Which leads me to my last thing, my last point, I guess. Speaking about finishing, let's talk about number 7 and finish up this list. Building out processes to make my life more efficient. So like what I was showing you earlier were things like Notion, where I kind of break down everything that I should be doing every single day. I gotta check some of these off, by the way, but it helps me stay focused on the task at hand. I've been using a tool like Airtable, which I'm gonna show you. I'm not sure if I can show you everything, but I actually built out a financial. I've been using things like Airtable, which is not loading right now. But been using things like Airtable, where I've been planning out my content, managing my clients, planning out my finances, all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of like what I've been doing at the moment. But really having this extra time, I've been really investing into assets and focusing on systems. How can I do things better? And it really goes into strategic thinking of like doing things better. And investing into things that can make my life easier, where I don't have to think so much, where I can be more efficient as well. Let's see. Dan Pena reminds me of Asian Tiger grandfather. Yeah, he's pretty tough. Benevolent chat, super. I've tried a million different prostate massagers over the years. I can never get a good feeling off of it. Any advice? No idea, bro. This is so funny, dude. I love, dude. This is so crazy. I haven't had this crazy amount of super chats and all these crazy good questions in a long time, man. So funny. Well, anyways, that is pretty much everything that I covered today. If you guys got any more questions, I'll stick around for maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I went through the 7 things that I'm focusing on quarantine, or the top 7 things I've been thinking of. The other day, I shared some of my top shows that I've been thinking about as well. Oh yeah, and I forgot. One of the things I wanted to cover too are some of the Reddit pharmacy Reddits and stuff like that as well. So didn't really get a chance to look too much into this, but let's kind of let's go over this as well. Like I said, one of the interesting articles was the Arkansas Pharmacy Association wants to provide pharmacies with PPE for $500. The people in the comments weren't too happy. What the F? PPE is hard to come by, but don't worry, we diverted a large order to ensure that they're hard to order. Thank us later, fam. We got you. Shake my head. So interesting stuff, guys, about all this sort of stuff. Really, it should be the responsibility of the pharmacy, the corporation, to really provide this. They're making a killing. It's like, dude, this has to be baked in to your costs, because honestly, it's just not safe to have, like I keep on saying all the time. But I don't know a better way to, other than yelling at, like, telling, hey, corporate, you need to help our pharmacists. You know, what else can we really do? And I've just been trying to wrap my brain over it as well. So there's that. Interesting story too. Like, I was reading this one. This one's off BuzzFeed News, where there was a link. Is it gonna load? And keep in mind, it's BuzzFeed, bro. Ugh. A woman with lupus said her healthcare provider stopping her chloroquine prescription and thanked her for the sacrifice. That is so fucked. I've read some. Oh yeah, due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, there's a worldwide shortage of Plaquenil / hydroxychloroquine. We are therefore conserving the current supply for those who are critically ill for COVID-19. And they're basically saying the half-life is pretty long, so it stays in the body for quite a while. But man, that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of these long-term patients as well. There's a lot of sourcing type of issues as well, and that's why I'm saying hoarding mentality fucking sucks, you know. So it's been really screwing people over. Let's go back into here. What day is tomorrow? I forgot. It's Friday. I have gotta keep on sharing benevolent so I can get these super chats in of big book teeth that makes it hard to kiss, and gotten to a point where it makes her laugh. Get them removed, bro. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this dude is gonna hit you all day if you stay on. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. So I'm fuck. Well, you guys hear me? Unplug. Dude, my freaking mic cut out. Well, I think it's time to end the stream. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. Thank you, Benevolent, for all the super chats. Thank you, AZ, for staying in and all that. And making the stream hella interesting. I will be streaming tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time again. So, yeah, let's chat again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, mother people.